So. Alles vorbereitet für den Stream. Jetzt muss ich nur noch... Ah, sehr schön, der Stream ist live. Ah ja, moin. Jetzt noch ein bisschen Muggel reinhauen. Und zwar nehmen wir da... Frontier BGM. Playlist. Okay, let's go. (33:0) nachher was ist denn das genau? Remy Man, keine Ahnung, Song of War. Okay, let's go. Lance Calculator. Chain Crit 1, Element Exploit 1, Crit Boost 1, Wax 3, Crit Eye 3, Thunder Attack 5, Attack Boost 7, No Pedalace, nur Power Talent und Power Charm. So, let's go. Wir nehmen jetzt, wir fangen an einfach mit Donnerlanzen. Ja. Thunder Lance Blows von Toby Kadachi. %, Crit mit 310 Raw, 35 Element. Es hat Weapon Slots, hat es einen 2er Slot. Also haben wir auf jeden Fall den Anti-Spezies Skill aktiv. Anti-Spezies ist aktiv. Purple genau. Und Zelle enthält Text enthält zum Beispiel P. Dann machen wir Purple. Enthält White. Dann machen wir Weiß. Oder ganz helles Blau mit gut. Also, Sharpness Management ist perfekt. So, wir haben einen 2er Waffenslot. No. Heißt, wir können, weil, wenn wir wollen, noch einen Crit oben drauf legen. Ja, Critical Eye. Und jetzt gucken wir mal, was das Damage aussieht. 308, 312, 304 ist ganz schlecht, 308. Ja, das sieht am besten aus. Ja, würde ich jetzt mal so stehen lassen. Jo, das ist erstmal soweit in Ordnung. Können wir so stehen lassen. Die Werte sind hier in Ordnung. Es hat die Purple Sharpness, ist aktiv. Anti-Aerial Species. Dann Power Jump, Power Talent ist aktiv. Attack Boost ist auf 7, Thunder Attack 5. Crit I 4, Wax 3, Crit Boost 3. Element Exploit 1 with Chain Crit 1. Yes, that's definitely the way to go. And the thing is, just copy this stuff. Let's, for example, write in just Toby here. Just copy this table. So, Toby, next weapon is the Exadrill Lance. The Exadrill Lance, let's go. Exadrill Lance. This weapon has 211 slot, level 3 rampage slot, which doesn't matter currently, 30 hits of white sharpness, and I have an idea. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change it if in the text is yeah, definitely. I think that no one used a Toby Lance, but it's absolutely crazy. Because you have the perfect amount of purple sharpness. I always aim for 30 hits of purple sharpness, and you have exactly the correct amount, and you didn't need any handicraft. Also, you get some slots. Awesome. Currently at the Exadrill Lance, and for the Exadrill Lance, I have to do a little thing here. As we can't reach purple, we're gonna mark this red. Sorry, the red. Yes. Okay, so we can see here in the cell that's not available to reach purple sharpness, so we have to go for white sharpness. Okay. Yeah, sure. Here are some notes, like CE4 is used, nothing else. Toby with CE4, okay. Next weapon was Exadrill. And we use white sharpness. We definitely use white sharpness. And I'm gonna put in here here. I just gonna copy this here. And I'm gonna say weapon augments if not other explained, we go for attack, element. Yes, if not other explained, attack with element is chosen. We go always for color. So Toby, Exadrill. Exadrill Lance use white sharpness. But I remember Toby Lance. The correct name of Toby Lance was the Thunder Lance. It's typed in the Thunder Lance. Thunder Lance has 2 slot. And now the Exadrill Lance has 2-1-1, and I just want to experiment a little bit and want to check out how good the 11 Bane deco is. Fuse element exploit, we have less damage, yes, we have 289, and with anti-aerial species we have 298. Okay, that is absolutely crazy. Nothing other stuff is used. 2 Gyros, not activated. Yes, extra roll of 340 watt, 23 element, 10% affinity, white sharpness, 2-1-1 slots. So we definitely gonna increase our crit eye by 1. So we now again by crit eye 4. And always element is the best way to go. Nothing to discuss about. 291, 295, 298, okay. Therefore the best combination you can choose. Yes. Again, this one we are gonna using as compensation also white sharp with crit I4. And I just gonna copy this. BC, thanks for joining the live stream. Never seen you before in any of my SwitchX live streams, so I didn't know whether you're new here or not, but we will see. Okay, now I'm gonna put in the data for the Exadrill Lance. Okay, no way to compete in any way. The Exadrill Lance didn't have any chance to compete with the other ones. Definitely not any chance to compete with the other. But why is the post rod zone damage is a lot higher? And element is bad. Ah, okay. So this weapon has high physical damage with 85% physical damage. Yes, but the sum is really bad. Okay. Okay, now to the next lance, which is the Verdun Lightning from Astalos. It has purple sharpness and 10 hits of purple. So we're gonna use 2 levels of Handicraft. I haven't caught the stream before, but I watch your videos. Ah, thanks for telling me. Yes, in the past I did a lot of Lance speedruns now for the weaker monsters, but I think before going more into Lance speedrunning previously, I have to do all the calculations now. Yes. Okay, so we have the Astalos Lance. We're gonna type it in here. Sorry, that is Astalos. For Astalos, we have only a level 1 slot and level 2 rampage slot. So we have purple sharpness, you can see here, and we definitely go for 3 levels of purple sharpness. And so you can see if we go from purple to white, this is a decrease of 15. You can see here. Purple to white is 15 degrees. Yes, let's say 18. It's 18 degrees, and I'll go from crit eye to 0 to 1, for example. Yeah, it's okay. It is definitely worth it to sacrifice for the sharpness. So we have natural 3 levels of crit eye, and we're gonna sacrifice 2 levels of crit eye to gain, yes, better sharpness management. And we're gonna also type that in, HC plus 2. HE plus 2, it's, critical eye 1 only instead for this. This is the compensation for this weapon. And yes, I think all the other stats are still okay with element exploit. Attack boosts under attack, critical eye, and all the other stuff. So let's gonna copy the table now. Rampage slot is also level 2. Yes, we didn't need any levels to get a purple sharpness, so everything is okay now. And let's go for the augmentations. 304.6. Yeah, it's definitely the best choice. 304.6, and now copy the table. Maybe I'm gonna put that table in here. Let's give me a second. So for me, maybe it's not good for mobile devices, but for me it's better to compare them. Amiibe, hello, this is my first time in your live stream. Thanks a lot. Maybe you can tell me how you come to this live stream. Did you especially search for Lance Morph, or how did you, yes, get access? So I'm gonna change always the same font and all the other stuff. Yes, okay. So that's the compensation. Critical eye 4, exile rule with white sharpness. Handicraft plus 2 with crit eye 1 only. We're gonna make this maybe a little bit something around this. This is very important. Before you read anything other of this stuff below, you have to check this out for the compensation guide. And now we have done Toby, Exadril, Astalos. So you can see here Astalos is not really competitive. Currently the Toby Kadachi Lance is the best one, but I currently didn't spot any cell where the Astalos Lance outdamage some other Lance. No. Astalos didn't have a chance currently. So I'm gonna continue with the other lances now. We're gonna continue with the Rajang Lance. So this is Rajang. The Rajang Lance is also called the Rajang Demon Lance. Or Demon Lord Rajang, I didn't know. Ah no, it is only Raging Demon. Okay, Raging Demon. The Raging Demon Lance, which has Thunder Element, a white sharpness, but the thing is, you need 4 levels to reach the purple tier. So we first of all calculate for 1 sacrificing skill Handicraft, so we go for crit eye 2. And go for the white sharpness now. Okay. Let's see how it does against the different monster hit zones. Yes, I just changed from crit eye from 3 to 2, but you also have a level 3 weapon slot. So the thing is, we can use that weapon slot for handicraft, so we can still use the crit eye 3. Crit eye 3 is still active. BC RIP as well as Narva Lance, you're still the first place. Yes, so you can definitely use the weapon in Dayrod mod. So I never really played a ton of Lance before, besides Iceborne. So in my speedruns I try to force to use the original design, but maybe when I've done some more videos I'm gonna also use the cosmetic mods. But first of all, it's just showcase the best weapons now. Okay, back to Raging Demon Lance. I think we should use that weapon with white sharpness maybe. And let's gonna see whether it's worth it to sacrifice. Yeah, let's gonna with white sharpness. So we're gonna type in here white sharpness. And nothing changed, nothing else. All the other stuff are still the same skills. But we're just gonna now copy this table here. Then we make a separate calculation. We're gonna paste it in here. Okay, and now we're gonna check out Regen with HC plus 3 purple. And crit eye 0. Because we're sacrificing 3 levels of crit eye for more handicraft. And let's gonna check this out. So we have 0 levels of critical eye, and instead we have handicraft, a little bit more levels of handicraft now. But the thing is, yes, we need 4 levels of handicraft. So handicraft plus 4. And in this case, I just want to check whether it's correct calculated. Crit eye goes from 3 to 0, yes, that's correct, no other changes. 273. 276, 280. Okay, 280 is definitely the best choice. So this is very, very bad. I didn't really recommend this now, but I'm gonna just... sorry, I did something wrong. We have to change for purple sharpness. And we put this in here. So the thing is, it is better to use less crit and more handicraft for the Rajang Lance, so it's always better to aim for purple sharpness instead of white. It's so much more worth it now. Okay, that's definitely the way to go. So we have done 2 times Rajang, and we're now going to continue with the Furious Rajang. which is called the Demon Lord Rajang. We're gonna type that in here. Demon Lord Rajang. So this weapon has 2 level 2 slots, but the Rampage slot is only level 1. So we definitely go for this. So the thing is, without this skill, we have 271 damage. And now go for anti-aerial species with this configuration. We have 270. 270 with this combination. And with this one, we have 271. So that is a very funny thing, that it's more worth it to don't increase the ramp up skill. Just very interesting. Yes, if you go for this one, we have 260.1 and you have it all 270.8. Okay, you have 270.8, and if you go for no one, but instead for this, 271.4. Well, that's very, so first of all, we're gonna check out the Sharpness Management. We have 50 hits of purple sharpness. We didn't need any Handicraft. We have 2 level 2 slots, so that's pretty strong. So we're definitely gonna increase the crit eye to level 5. Okay, because on the previous set we have crit eye 0 and now we have critical eye level 5 for the compensation. And so we're gonna do that stuff again. So with that standard calculation we have 290.4, and now with this one we have 290.1. Okay, so it's better to didn't use an anti-skill. That's very interesting. I didn't knew that before. So let's go, for example, for a hit zone, which is 60 and 20, which has 329. And now we're going to remove that. $325. Okay. So it is better to didn't use the anti-deco in my opinion, because it performs a lot better without it. 275, and this alone increases your damage by about 15. Okay, it increases by 15, and anti-aerial species only by a little bit. So it's, to be honest, it is better to use this one. Okay, and none instead for this, because we have 278. With this we have 290.1, and with general we have 290.4. That is very tricky to say, but I think it's better for general purpose. Yes, it doesn't care honestly, but also it depends on the elemental damage, so I just gonna recommend this one yes, over the other one, because it is stronger for average, and it's definitely the way to go. So I'm gonna copy this. No anti. And we have crit eye level 5. Oh, sorry, that was wrong. And I also want to check another thing, whether it's better to go for more attack. 290.4. Why is there such a big difference? That's crazy. That is huge. P19. P19 until S21. These are the correct cells. Yeah, so it definitely seems to be better in this. So we go for attack, attack, element, element, element. Okay. So this is the best combination. Attack, attack, element, 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 and no anti-species deco. So, and I now want to copy the table. Hope it's correct, 290.4 dBs. Okay, now with the next one, which is the Narva Lance. I didn't know where I should continue. I think I should go just there. Narva, and I definitely know that we're going for HC plus 3 purple. That is definitely the way to go if you use Narva Lance. So let's gonna type in the name of the weapon, which is Skybox Discharge. The best weapons at the end, of course. Skybox Discharge, which is for Narva, and no weapon slots. You can see it here. Rampage slot is level 2, so we can definitely go for the anti-aerial species. Okay. And the next thing is, Critical Eye was level 3, but now we go down to 0 because we need that for the Handicraft of purple. And I think that's it. Nothing more to say about this. Definitely attack, attack, so every other stuff is completely stupid. Element and crit is also a very good combination, but this is definitely the way to go. Sharpness was set to purple, so it's definitely worth it. For example, if you go for white, we currently have 326. If you go for white and instead use more crit eye, we have 318, so it's absolutely not worth it. So we're gonna sacrifice some crit skills and instead using the purple sharpness now. So we have an absolute damage of 326. So we go to Narva. Narva. HC plus 3 with purple sharpness and also compensate crit eye 0. This is no CEO, this is just crit eye 0. Okay, so this is insane. This weapon has, if you exclude the 30 elemental hit zone value, this weapon has about 31% elemental damage, which is completely insane. That is absolutely crazy. This is insane. 31% elemental damage. Holy shit, man. This is so insane. But now we come to my personal favorite weapon for thunder, which I also used a lot, which is the Zenogram. The Narva Lance, I just love it. And the Narva Lance is a Abrasos Genesis. I also made some speedruns with it, and it looks so good. Let's go for Abrasos Genesis, which has a huge amount of thunder element, natural, purple sharpness, but we have to use 2 levels of Handicraft. So we definitely have to go for HC plus 2. HC plus 2 is definitely the way to go. I had no weapon slots at all. Very bad. But J9MH says, I think Narva wins over Zenogram. Yeah, that depends highly on the elemental zone. We will gonna see, but I also think more than 30% of elemental damage is absolutely insane. Yes, we use the purple sharpness with this combination, which is by far the best for every matchup. And we have to compensate the 2 uses of 2 levels of Handicraft, so we are instead going for only 1 level of Crit Eye. We're gonna type that in here. Crit Eye is only level 1. Okay, and yeah, so Crit Eye was set to level 1. Thunder Tank attack mixed out. Crit Eye level 1. Affinity is purple, let's go. 316, which is exactly the same, I think. Oh no, Narva is so much better, man. So now we come to the interest. Okay, you can see maybe I want to check out whether it performs on Zemite zones better. For example, in a 675 fit zone. We're gonna make a table now. We now make a table, and this table is gonna just we're gonna just make one with this one. Okay, and then we make this one. And then we just type in the weapon names. So so the thing is by far the best. Toby is also very good. 453 can compete with other ones. 453 no. And any other one? So Toby has high physical damage, 80% physical damage. Exadrill 441. 438, so I think we should maybe have a short look at the Toby Lance, whether there are maybe some numbers okay, so we just type in so this is gonna be very funny. I just type in Narva in every cell here, and the only cell where Zenogram wins is this one. Is this one. Or maybe do you guys see any other cells where Zenogram is better? I think this is the only. Oh, Papa Rodeo! Thanks for joining the math stream. This is very funny. I really like the calculations. I did so much preparations for the stream to program all the calculator and all the other stuff, which took me a bunch of time, and now I can go cheese mode for calculation. And I think I gonna make all elements in the stream because the calculator is cheese. So that's it. All Narva. Except for 7515 is Zenogram. So is there any monster that has a 7515 hit zone? I think it's like Somnakanth or so. But yes, I compared every single cell. I didn't spot a cell where another weapon performs better. 324, 305, 248, 256, 225, 386, 392, 477, 440, 419, 391, 392. Okay. So maybe is there any other weapon we missed about? Oh wait. Wait. Holy shit, wait. It is Toby. It is not Zenogram, it's Toby Kadachi. It is Toby! 401, 421, 453. Yes, definitely. So my personal opinion about, and it's gonna now at the end check this one out, this is 328. Okay, 328. For Toby. Okay, it's also better. Toby is also better here. So that's now the fun thing is that Toby is better than Zenogram. And 257, okay. So this is gonna be Narva. And how how looks the Toby Lance? Any remember how the Toby Gun Lance looks like? I think it's gray. Yeah, it's like gray white, so we're gonna use gray white. Okay, that's it. There you go. I'm gonna do this now. Yes, this looks good. Yeah, so you can so Toby when air hard set foul is 60 plus and he has a foul is lower than 15. Okay, that's it. So I didn't expect it that that the Toby Lance is so strong. Maybe the reason is that you can better slot in for more stuff. Yeah, you don't you think that raw options or just straight up better? If, definitely. But that was I just want to compare the. I didn't know whether the threshold is. The thing is, it depends on how many percent the elemental damage output is. For example, for elemental switch X, because I did a lot of switch X morph before, and for switch X, it starts element with a hit zone value of 10. So switch X is so hard, extremely elemental. Even if the monster's hit zone is only about 8 or 7, also the elemental out damage. I didn't know whether this is threshold by Lance, but this is just maybe I'm gonna compare it later to the raw options. I just wanna compare the elements under reduce. I wanna see which element performs better than another one. Also for low elemental hit-zone values, LT slap is way better to just LT spam. Ah, okay. But then if you LT slap, you also does more raw damage than elemental. So we're now gonna starting with the next element, which is the next element. I'm gonna tell you live stream. Oops, sorry. So I'm gonna wait 5 minutes or so, and then, or maybe 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna see whether we continue. So you can have a short look at the weapon overview, and then I'm gonna continue. Okay, one thing I definitely want to mention is that the last element I'm doing is Dragon element. So I just think I start and I continue with the regular elements. But just look at how they are sorted at Kirinako. I don't know. Just continue with water maybe. Yes, of course. I called all this stuff because you have to include it into the compensation stuff. For example, if a weapon, so it's very easier to calculate whether it's more worth it to use white sharpness with more crit or just purple sharpness with less crit, but I think at all it seems to be that it's better to invest more into purple sharpness, and less crit is a lot better, a lot stronger. And yes, I always gonna calculate for 30 hits of purple sharpness. Let's go with the Narva element, which is now water, because no one really mentioned the element in the live chat, so I just gonna pick water. And let's gonna start with the water elements, which is Kimigakirukas. I didn't know the name, it's too complicated. But it's the Mitsuzune one, and we're gonna go back to Critical Life 3. So it's the Mitsuzune Switch X. Oh, this song is so good. What is the name of the song? It is 12037. 12037. Ancient. Oh, I have to gonna type this in. Power Sound Frontier Themes. Ancient Rhythm Jungle MH1. This is crazy. Okay. Okay, that's gonna continue with Mitsu Lance. So the thing is, we have 10 hits of purple. Rampage slot is level 2. We have no weapon slots. So the thing is, we're gonna use Handicraft plus 2. And sacrifice 2 levels of crit eye, so we go for crit eye 1. Crit eye level 1. Okay, and I think that's it, okay? Yes, purple sharpness, no weapon slots at all. 10 hits of purple sharpness. And let's gonna calculate this stuff. I also did a speedrun with the Mitsutsune Lance and I absolutely loved it. I love the Mitsutsune Lance, it's so good. Also the Mitsutsune Switch Axe. I generally love Mitsutsune weapons because I started with what I preferred and they had also that Japanese style. 77.6% physical damage. Yes, Dragon Element is always the most annoying weapons. The thing is, always, I didn't know why it's in Monster Hunter, but Monster Hunter, the thing is, you have for every element about 5 weapons, and then you have the Dragon Element, and you have about 10 or 12 weapons with Dragon Element, but the only monsters that are Dragon weak are the Wraths, and that's it, okay? And then you have like maybe about, I feel sometimes like in World, every second monster has a Thunder weakness, so you can just use a Thunder weapon as raw weapon in World, and you performing a lot better than just doing raw because like every monster was weak against Thunder, and you only had a few weapons with Thunder and a bunch of Dragon Element, which is completely dumb. Yes, I also used a mod that shows the amount of hits, but it took me a long time. I have to craft every single lance, and that using the mod which shows me the hits of sharpness. Because currently on Kirinako they didn't tell you how much hits of sharpness you have. Okay, that was the... so 317, so you can see compared to other weapons, it is like same level as Zenogram. Mitsutsune Lance is same level as Zenogram. When you compare them with the performance. And now the next lance is the People Lance from Titranodon. I think it's a very bad lance. The thing is, it has 30 hits of white sharpness, so we didn't have to do anything. We need a bunch of handicraft. So we need about 5 levels of handicraft, which is absolutely not worth it. And I think that definitely we just go with white sharpness. And we can do the math if you want. We can compare white sharpness with purple sharpness. And let's gonna see. So with white sharpness we have 301.8. And let's go with white sharpness we have 284. Okay. And you can see here we need 5 levels for 30 hits of purple. Okay. So we need 5 levels of handicraft. And we have 284. Okay. 284. Keep that in mind. So we're gonna have 3 levels of okay, now it's correct. 292, okay? 292 with white. And now with purple. 292 and also 2 of attack. We have 289, okay? So you can see in this case it is better to use just white sharpness and instead go for full attack boost and standard crit eye. Okay, so we didn't use any. We have 30 hits, which is optimal for this combo. But for Tetranodon Lance, it's better to stay at white, because you just need 5 levels of handicraft, which is absolutely insane. You can see also here we have 2 weapon slots, so we can increase our crit eye from 3 to 4, and then let's go. We have Tetra. Instead of 2 attack boost, 3 crit eye. What if you move 3 attack boosts and only 2 crit eye? I can maybe check this. Okay. So that was the chat. So you wanted that I compare them, correct? So the thing is, first of all, you can see here we have level 2 weapon slot. So we are gonna using, first of all, we have to say we're gonna use that 1 level for the crit eye skill. Okay, so we have 4 levels of crit eye. Damage is 296. So keep that in mind. 296. I'm gonna trust table it on the live chat. 296 white. And then we go for purple. And you said I should go for attack boost 3. Okay, attack boost 4. So we have now 3 levels of Handicraft. And now last 2 of crit eye. So crit eye 2. And then we have 294. Okay, so it's better to just use white. There isn't a big difference, but yes, I just aim for the 4 crit eye with 7 max out. Max out attack boost with crit eye 4. So we can say just on this weapon we're gonna just use crit eye 4 for the compensation stuff. Corla 14. Yes. And I'm gonna just copy this sheet, this table now. Yes, we have a level 2 slot, and also in the area species is active now with white sharpness. I wanted to see if removing attack boost is better than always. It's better to remove crit eye before first, because you get percentage buffs, and now in sunbreak attack boost is double as strong in vanilla, because the weapon has a double amount of raw, and percentage scales a lot better, because that's the reason why you always should aim attack boost 7 and then go for crit eye. But you can see it's not worth it to go for purple sharpness on this weapon, unless you have absolutely crazy amount of augmentation rolls. Yeah, so it is very garbage, this weapon. And yes, we're gonna put that crit eye back into 3 to didn't mess up things. So the next weapon we're gonna talk about is the Sienna Tower Piercer. Shogun, just type in Shogun. Shogun has 30 hits of purple, which is perfect, which is absolutely perfect. 30 hits is perfect. Yes, okay. I also heard of that attack boost 5 isn't worth it. So just maybe in the most cases just drop from 7 to 4 directly, it's more optimal. And yes, so we have the stats now, and we also have again a weapon tool slot, so we can also do the same like here, crit eye 4. And just increase crit eye to level 4. And that's it. Nothing more to discuss about, just change the purple, the weapon tier sharpness, so we didn't have to do any use Handicraft, very easy weapon to build around with, because the Sharpness Management is already perfect. And gonna paste in all that stuff. Yeah, so currently from these weapons, yes, Mitsutsun is by far the best currently. I don't know whether they can compete with them. We also have the Red Lord Lance. The Red Lord Lance, which is Daimyo, or I don't know, I just copied a cell maybe. Daimyo, is it correctly? Yeah, that is correct, Daimyo. And this weapon has level 4 slot. Okay. So we can maybe use Handicraft on the compensation. This weapon needs 3 levels of Handicraft, and my person 2 levels. So Handicraft plus 4. Is it worth it to use 4 levels of Handicraft, or just go for white? So I just gonna do the calculation again. So we have level 4 big ass slot, because but we didn't have any benefits of it because we can't slap in any other stuff. So we're just using it for general crit eye. So we're going just for crit eye 4, like I do always when we have a big ass slot. And now change weapon to white. So we have now a damage of 295 white. And then instead of this, the thing is we need 2 levels to reach purple, and instead stack on, that's 4 levels of handicraft, okay? 4 levels of handicraft. So we go first of all to purple, and then sacrifice our crit eye level 4 completely. So we didn't have any crit eye, but instead we have like the 3 levels of crit eye sacrificed, and also that level 4 slot we have, and that is now 298. So in this case it is worth it to go for purple. So we go for HC plus 4, and we have crit eye 0. Yes, this is a case where it's worth it to go into purple sharpness. And now to the last weapon, which I already used in a speed run, which is the spiral vortex, or how it's called, the spiral vortex, and that is also going to be also very interesting because of the sharpness management. 3 levels of crit eye. Yes. Ooh, this damage is absolutely insane. Let's go back to white sharpness. We have a level 2 slot, which is very nice to see there. We have a level 2 slot on this weapon, and 315 damage with white sharpness. The thing is, here we can see we need level 3 to reach purple, so we maybe talk about using 5 levels of handicraft. Is it worth it to use 5 levels of handicraft? So we have natural 50 hits of white, so we can maybe do one thing and just gonna increase crit eye from 3 to 4. And loot rod white, I'm gonna try to type in the live chat now. Loot rod white is 319. And then the next thing we are gonna do is we are sacrificing. So the thing is, we need 5 levels of handicraft. We are sacrificing 3 levels of crit eye. Okay. So we have like 3 levels. Then 1 level we're using on the weapon slot. And the last thing is we are removing 1 level of attack boost. And then we go for 300. We have 318 for purple. Okay, so it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So we have to go back to white, using 4 levels of crit eye, and that's it. And attack boost back to level 7, and now we're back at 319. So yes, going for white sharpness on this weapon makes more sense. It is not like in this, when you play switch axe, it is absolutely worth it in the most cases to just use 5 levels of handicraft, for example. But yes, Lance performs it a little bit other. The reason is why for switch axe it's worth it, because for switch axe you always play only with 1 level of tiny purple. But with Lance you didn't play with protective polish and go for 3 levels of purple, because you can also play with white. Otherwise with the switch axe you always aim for the purple sharpness. So let's gonna type in that weapon, which is the loot rod. We're just using crit die 4 and that's it, nothing else. No handicraft, nothing else. Okay, now we're also done with water. What is the song of this currently of this? It is 13730. I want to know the name. 13. What was the name? It is 13730. 13730. It is this one. This is also awesome song. So let's gonna do the math now, if there is something to calculate about. Okay, that's gonna be very interesting. We just copy this. So we're gonna just, first of all, let's gonna see which the average is the loot rod. Right now we're gonna go more into the hit zones. Yes, for the first hit zone, loot rod is best. Then we have 214, 232 with 250, always yes, I pasted the wrong table. Okay. I saw Nubs also joined the live chat. Thanks a lot. I just recognized it 3 minutes later. Sorry for this. I just first of all want to drop a Narva Lance, everything replace. Yes, the thing, if you play Protective Polish, at the end of the day it's the same. So there is like same energy when using 3 levels. Let's say you have a weapon, like the Narva weapon. The Narva Lance leads 3 levels of Handicraft to reach 30 hits of purple. So you have an investment of 2 level 3 slots. Otherwise you can just go in for 1 Handicraft and then use maybe 2 levels of Protective Polish. Like you can also have a big ass level 4 slot like on the Daimyo Lance or where it was. Maybe on the Daimyo Lance. It is absolutely worth it to use the Protective Polish because you have a big ass level 4 slot. Like drop 3 crit die 1 from slot and 1 from augment and stay at attack boost. Yeah, okay, maybe I can do that later. It's definitely thanks for the idea. So I'm now gonna go have a look into the Lemon Lances, and we're just gonna compare Mitsuzune with Lutroid, because all the other are just too weak. They didn't have any chance to compete with the other, they just way too weak. There's only Mitsuzune and Lutroid, that's by far the best. So let's start with the first table with the 30 hit zone. 193, 218, okay, always Lutroid better. Now to the next chart. Always Lutroid, yes. Next table. 331, 356, 376, 390, and 4. Okay, 4. Okay, that is very, very, very complicated now. So on this hits, this I'm gonna remove this. This is just a copy. On this, it is Mitsutsuno is better. Mitsuha. Then on the 20 hit zone, it also seems that Mitsu is also better. And the 25 hit zone, I didn't understand why. I maybe can see. Okay. Yes. That's the table. Let's go. Mitsutsuno, let's say Mitsutsuno is about which color has Mitsutsuno? This one? Yes. So which color has the anyone remember which color the Toby Lance has? I think it doesn't has that yellowish tone. We can maybe make the font to like green. Yes, that's better. Let's make a short conclusion. Mitsu when raw hit zone value is let's say, is there a way to make a comparison? 60, let's say it's 65. Yeah, let's say 65 or so. Mitsu when raw hit zone value is higher than 65 and the elemental hit zone value is lower than 20 yes, or let's say it's lower than 25. Yeah, so this is the conclusion. So always you should try here you can say Narva is best. Narva is best. And just type in here root road is best. Yes, Mitsutsuno isn't really worth it. It is very competitive, like you can see. It is not that bad, but I think the difference is that it is really crazy. How is it so much better? It is because of the elemental damage. So you can see here at the bottom, the values are pretty much the same. Ruthrod and Mitsu almost the same. So I didn't want to say there's only difference is like uh, 317, 319. Okay, let's go and do a short morph. It is like 0. Let's say it's a 0.6% Yes. So the damage difference from Lutro and Mitsu is only 0.6% only. And yes, it doesn't really make that sense. It is, yes, it is 0.6% only. Oh, I really like this track. This track is 147.19. Yes, okay. And now for the other lances, like Narva and Zenogram, you can see here, yes, Narva is a lot better. 326 compared to 312 before Narva is better, okay. Okay, that's it. Let's go with the next element, which now should be ice element. Let's go for ice element weapons. For ice, I heard is Sandrios, so I think we didn't have to talk about ice. On which matchup I should try Handicraft from Augment? Yes, you're really correct, man. Maybe it's better to just grab the Handicraft from the augmentation. I didn't know whether that is that big difference, but maybe you can just tell me the weapon or something else. I have an idea. Let's say we have like the Spiral Vortex, which is from Lutrot. And of course, currently we have 319. And let's say we need one level of Handicraft. Yes, for the next stage. And I just want to compare what is better. So for this combination, we have 319.3. And for this, with Crit Eye more. Sorry. So I go back to the normal. This is a normal augmentation. Let's say we need one level of Handicraft, okay? For one level of Handicraft, we drop a level of Critical Eye, and then we go to 312. Okay, that is what Chai9 asked. So we have 312.9 when we drop Crit Eye. So right now we are just using this one and nothing else. And then we have 308. So it's absolutely not worth it to grab Sharpness from the augmentation. It's not worth it. So you should definitely go for the augmentation. Compare one augment, one slot, free from... Yeah, I already done that. It is absolutely not worth it. It was like 7 DPS less. 7 damage less. It is not really worth it to drop that stuff. That was the regular. With a drop of Crit Eye for Handicraft, and then we have 312. And if you use this one, we have 308. So it's not worth it. It's like 7 damage less. Okay. But thanks, that was a very good question. Yes, we can now finally say that it's not really worth it. For the Switch X meta builds, it is worth it. Because you only need most time only one level of Handicraft or so. But yes, it is not really worth it to drop your attack boost or your Crit Eye, and it's better just to maybe roll for additional Handicraft skill or so. And also the next thing is, I also think it's better to use Handicraft tools instead of the augmentation, because currently we have a ton of big ass level 4 slots, but not really good charms we can fit into that level 4 slots, and so maybe instead we can use some Handicraft tools to slap that in. You know? Yes, that was the... I'm gonna now continue with the ice element. So maybe Try9 already knows absolutely way to go, as I currently myself have seen in a lot of speedruns, and I know in the base rise the Aura's Lance was by far the best Lance. But now it's going to be a little bit complicated, because for Barrier we have to don't use critical eye because it doesn't make sense anymore, and then we will see what we are going to doing now. But it's going to be very interesting. I have also seen Lunagaron Lance on the R-Starter speedrun Lance, but I think the most speedrunners said that the Zemite Lance is the best Lance, and my personal opinion is yes. I also think that Zemite Lance is the best, because the only one competitive is with the Aura, but it has more raw and more element than the Aura. And yes, the only bad thing is it's a little bit tricky to get that good handicraft management, but we will see. First of all, we're gonna start with the Narva Lance. And the next thing is, maybe today the stream I'm gonna stop after ice element, and I think I'm gonna do the 2 other elements tomorrow. Okay. So like always, crit eye free, weakness exploit free, with crit boost free, and we start with the Narva Lance, which is also called the Abominable Spike, or what is else the other name? Abominable Spike, I didn't know. Okay, so this weapon has 10 hits of purple sharpness, so we definitely have to use 2 levels of Handicraft. This weapon has a level 3 weapon slot, so we can, this is absolutely perfect. We can squeeze in 1 level of Handicraft, and at the end of the day we only have to sacrifice 1 level of crit eye. And that's it, nothing else to say about this. Just drop in 1 level of crit eye. Okay, so you can see now the damage output is pretty bad. But we have purple sharpness, and now things changes, but yes, I think a good lance should have as the combo minimum 300 damage. And now the thing is, we sacrifice that crit eye. I want to know, maybe in this case, because we're using crit boost, and this had negative affinity, so to be honest, it is maybe better to use only 2 levels of critical boost in this case, I don't know. Or it's just better to use the augmentation with crit. And let's see. For this augmentation, we have 291, and now for this one, okay, it's not worth it. It is not worth it, forget it, okay, it's not worth it to use the crit. But I now gonna see whether it's worth it to sacrifice crit boost for element. We have 291.9. Crit boost 2, instead critical eye 3. Okay, it's not worth it, it is not worth it, forget it, it is not worth it. We just go for crit eye 2, let's go. So for this weapon we use Handicraft plus 2. And only critical eye level 2, yes. That's it. Yes, okay, critical eye level 2, and this one. I think the whole moth changes anyways when you look at the max out min speedruns. Yes, that's the thing. But the thing is, at a certain point there is no room more for any more additional cases, for additional skills, like there's dereliction, you have attack boost, but it isn't really useful to make use of agitator or so. Didn't see that a lot. But yes, you're right, it changes when you have every skill, but you also have to consider you have a lot of tech skills on the lance, like you have to squeeze in. I previously tested it, and you have to squeeze also in offensive guard max out, and also weight extender, maybe some wirebug whisper and some other skills if you play with the insect clave stolen move or other stuff, but that have to be swapped with the leaping thrust. I didn't really know, but the thing is, all weapons this calculation or got the same yes, there didn't I don't know. I also have the same set, so I don't think it's very. I think they are only very balanced because currently I didn't know how to translate it into English, but it's okay. So dämlich, Alter, ich kann es einfach nicht ausdrücken. So, okay, we're using with purple sharpness, and let's go. I thought that the Abominable Spike is better, but the element is, it has a choke element of 20, so. I'm very interesting how to build around with the Zemite Lance. Next weapon is the Spine-Tooth Spear. Now we come to the most interesting, Spine-Tooth Spear. This weapon is absolute nuts. It has white sharpness. Let's go to white. So 60 hits of white. We need 5 levels of Handicraft. And yeah, I balanced. Okay, that's the way I want to explain it. Maybe the only way this calculation is unbalanced is for the fire lances, because you have an insane armor part, the Silverless chest, which has 3 levels of fire attack, and maybe you can squeeze in maybe some crit eye more or so. Maybe this is the only case for the fire weapons where it's maybe a little bit unbalanced. So maybe in real the fire lances are stronger than calculated. Yes, for the Spine-Tooth Spear, white sharpness, and first of all I just calculate random stuff. We didn't have any slots, any rampage skill, nothing else, just regular calculation with crit eye level 3. And we came to 330 with standard sharpness. White, we have like 313 damage. Okay, and now I want to calculate for one more thing. I think it might also change a bit with adrenaline and courage and offensive growth, cause all of okay. And let's gonna see how elemental. Okay, so you can see, for example, let's go. J9 wrote something about they change with leaping thrust and other stuff. So currently, I think we have Mitsu and Lootroot for here, and you can see here Mitsu and Lootroot does about same physical damage, and for the water lances, for example. We have Tetra, Shogun, and Daimo. And the thing is, Tetra, Shogun, and Daimo did about 80% physical damage. And yes, Lootroot and Mitsu does about 75% physical damage. But the thing is, they're a lot better than the 3 other. You can see here the 3 other weapons. Tetra, Shogun, Daimo has about 290 damage. And Mitsu and Lootroot has 320. So that is 30 damage more, and that is 10% damage more. So I didn't really think that yes, Tetra or Shogun with adrenaline can catch up against Mitsu, because they are also working now on Mitsu and other stuff. And I think in this case, what J9 said, in this case you just have to look for the combative lances, which is in this case Mitsu and Lootroot, which are, you can, like here, I said the difference is 0.6%. And in this case, it is better to use Mitsu Lance, because it has slightly more physical damage than elemental damage. And I think that is maybe a good way to look at it. You know? Yes, I also calculated for the Spine-Tooth Spear with 314 damage. I didn't really know whether it's worth it to invest in 5 levels of Handicraft. That sounds so insane. 5 levels of Handicraft, that is absolutely correct. Let's remove 3 levels of crit eye and 2 levels of attack boost. So we go for attack boost 5, but J9 said it's kinda useless, so we instead go for attack boost 4 and crit eye 1. So we sacrifice 3 levels, 5 levels, okay? Yeah, definitely choose this. Attack boost 4 with crit I 1. And then we have 209 with purple, 313. Okay, so in this case it is not worth it. It is very, very close. It is, you can say it's the same, but I didn't really recommend play with purple sharpness. I think it's just 60 white is also very cheese mode, I think. So we just use regular white sharpness with it is really worth to do attack boost 5 crit I1 or attack boost 4 crit I2. If it really was, yeah, I did, like I said, I didn't use attack boost 5, so instead I just dropped the level of crit I. So I just use attack boost 4 and crit I1 as compensation because I think it's more. Yes, I have done it already. I have already calculated for wait, crit, attack boost 4, crit I2, and then with the augmentation. Yes, so you can see in the live chat. In the live chat, I wrote with white sharpness you have 314 damage, and with attack boost 4 and crit I1 you have 313 damage. Okay, so it's one less damage. And I maybe gonna test another thing. I know it's useless, but you can also use this, just this one here, element and affinity. Sorry. Ja, eine Sekunde. Sharpness and element, and instead one more crit die. You land at 309, which is completely useless. Okay. fast auf der Schnauze geflogen, als ich hier über den Teppich gelaufen bin. Meine Fresse, Alter. Ich wollte mir noch Spiele holen. Ich wollte mir noch ein Bier holen. So. Also, jetzt habe ich natürlich verpasst, wie die geile Musik hier, die geile Musik hier am Laufen ist noch. Hat sich aber bis jetzt auch keiner mehr am Livestream mehr beteiligt, von daher würde ich sagen, let's go. Ja. So, this is the last element. Ice and the other two elements I'm doing tomorrow. No. Well, the thing is, I was 20 minutes AFK, so I have to, and I forgot to pause the music, so I'm gonna go back 20 minutes now. Okay, so I'm gonna close this this node here. Maybe I'm doing all the elements, but I don't know. If it was very fun, I'm also doing the other elements. But we will see now. We will see. So, did I already done Gozarag? Yes, Gozarag is done. We didn't have to do any additional stuff. Beep, 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 beep. Attack boost 7 with crit eye 3. Crit boost 3, wax 3. Crit eye 3, ice attack 5 with attack boost 7. Okay, that's it. No petalace. Yes, let's go. Yes, I think that's it. Luna Garon. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Luna Cry. That is a cool weapon name. Let's go, Luna Garon. Luna Garon has 40 hits of purple, that is perfect. We didn't have to change anything, we can just stay everything like it is. Let's go, let's go. We can just copy this, that is so easy. Yeah, so attack boost 5 crit eye, 3 crit eye, 3 wax, crit eye, okay. Nothing else, nothing else. We didn't have to change anything. It's so good. So paste that in here. So the next weapon we're gonna look into is the Ivory Ice from Barioth. That's also gonna be very interesting. Ivory Ice from Barioth. The Barioth is a little bit complicated to build around with. The thing is, we need 2 levels of Handicraft. So we're gonna sacrifice that critical eye is too much. We currently have already 100% crit. So the thing we are gonna do is, first of all, we remove 2 levels of crit eye. So we have only 1 level, and instead we have 3 hits of purple sharpness. Now we have 95% affinity, and that's now perfect because we can now increase again crit eye to level 2. And we need 2 level. Oh, that's very easy cheese mode. So for Barioth we only have to, and yes, we have 100% crit, easy 40%, and another 10. Oh, that's absolutely perfect compensation now. Oh, this song is crazy. 2714. 2714. Oh, I forgot the Zemite Lance. I forgot the Zemite Lance. Okay, that happens. Sorry for that. I forgot the spine tooth. I forgot the spine tooth. I forgot the spine tooth. We are gonna go for general equipment, nothing else, nothing else, no crit eye, exhaust stuff, only white sharpness. Yes, only white stuff, nothing else. $314.3, that was the correct, yes. A lot of 75% physical hit. Okay, now the last lance, the Horas Regulus. So let's go to the aura weapon. The aura is white. We have to use 3 levels of Handicraft. 3 levels. Okay. We have purple sharpness. And we are gonna sacrifice some crude eye. 3 levels of crude eye. And that's it. So we play with Handicraft plus 3. Oh. What is the title? What is the title? 21108. 21117 or something. Oh yes, Sky Corridor. This track is insane. Yes, Handicraft plus 3 and crit eye 0. Since when did the aura weapon has 10% affinity? Since when has the aura weapon affinity? I didn't knew that. Dang, I didn't know it has affinity. Since when this weapon has affinity? Never heard of it. Oh, this is gonna be so competitive. They're exactly the same. Holy shit, this is so insane. 313.2, 313.2, oh, 24. Okay, this is absolutely insane. This weapon are so competitive. It is like even more competitive. So Zemite is, I have to calculate that. 313.2, 314.3. Yeah, 313.2. .3%. Zemite is 0.3% stronger than the aura. So the difference is just that that it slightly better performs. Yes, correct. That is what I want to say. So at the end of the day, they're doing exactly the same damage. But yes, I'm gonna now do the table like I've done. By the way, J9, thanks for joining back the live chat. Pretty cool to see you back again. So there's at least one weapon is familiar with Lance. I didn't know whether I should also make the. Maybe you can tell me whether I should do the other elements tomorrow or today. You can feel free to tell your opinion in the comment section down below. And now I'm gonna do all the stuff for the weapon calculation. So yes, Zemite. Okay, let's start with Zemite. How does the Zemite Lance look like? I'm gonna have a look at. The Zemite Lance is, how is the name? Where was the Zemite Lance? We have the Aura is Regulus, and the Zemite Lance. So just like, I didn't know what is the color. Okay, now I do a weird, I do a very weird thing, but I want to do it. Hex picker. I want to do this. This is very, very nerdy, but I want to do that. So I want to know, use your image, webpage URL, this one. I know this is very weird, but I want to do it. Okay. I want to know this color. This color. Copy this as yes, maybe as font color. This weapon looks like this. I think it should be like the name. Color. You're gonna see it when I'm done. Okay, and now I want to grab another color with the hex picker. Not interested, man. Just use this one. Yes, I'm gonna choose the hex picker. And then add the color with the hex picker. As fill color. So now these are the exactly same colors as the weapon has. Zemite, Zemite, Zemite. Okay. Yeah, thanks for telling me, so I'm gonna stop and continue tomorrow. I think also it's the best opinion, because otherwise it's just too much stuff around us. Now for the... It's gonna give me a second. For the 45 hit zones... I would say Zemite, the aura, it doesn't care. Then for this hit zones, also Zemite. Then also Zemite. This is also Zemite. This should be, I think this is correct. The thing is that the aura does more physical damage, so I'm very wondering why is on this hit zone value, on the 1575 hit zone value, why is there the aura weapon weaker than the Zemite weapon? I didn't really get it, to be honest. Maybe this is a very weird combination I've never seen before. But I'll take it. So yes, also it doesn't really matter, but my personal recommendation is it depends. Yes, it highly depends on the monster. How is elemental or physical hits, or in general, I think if like J9 mentioned, if you play a lot with adrenaline, for example, for adrenaline, I definitely think that the aura is slightly better. Slightly, maybe only a thousandth percent, or 1 out of 1000%, it's better. But yes, never seen so good competitive weapons, so they're exactly the same, but yes, for general hunting. So the thing is, at this case, for these hit zones, for the 45-60 hit zone values, they're performing exactly the same. So they're doing exactly the same damage. You can see here, that's absolutely crazy. And I didn't get that weird constellation. This is a weird why it's only on the 45 and 60 hit zone values. I don't know, but okay, I'll take it. But here you have the post damage. 55, 80, 99, 137, 205. You can see here on the 45 and 60 battle raw damage output. I think maybe it also has to do with the crit. Yes. Stagger, because the aura has already some crit on board, like 10% affinity already on the weapon. Yes. No slots, and well, I think it's a good opinion. Zemite with white has more than 30 hits, I think. Yes, there are 60 in the sheet. I can also show that you hear the spine tooth spear. Let's give me a second. Yes, definitely. You can see here V60 is 60 hits of white sharpness. It does this just consider leaping thrusts or leaping thrust, leaping high. It is only calculated for the pure leaping thrust spam. So all these calculations performing better, so for maximizing elemental damage. So like I mentioned before, but it's not a problem because you can see here the amount of physical hit, the amount of physical damage and the amount of elemental damage a lance does. And you can check out all these sheets and you can see maybe, yes, if you want to do more for leaping high, it scales better with raw. And in this case, it's always easy to say what's the best lances because there are no mid-tier lances, there are always worse lances and good lances. Because there's always a huge gap. Best example is water. Citra, Shogun and Daimur are pretty bad in comparison to Lutro and Mitsu. So there aren't really mid-tier lances, there are just bad water lances and top-tier water lances. And so it's easy to say, you have Lutro and Mitsu, and if you want to play CVS Leaping High for more raw scaling damage, I recommend to use the Mitsune Lance because it has about 77.6% physical damage and it scales better. For ice, definitely choice is to use yes, the Aura if you want to go for that style, because yes, it scales better with physical damage. And also other elements I've done is Thunder. Thunder was extremely insane. We have 8 Thunder Lances. Holy moly, what is going on? Why did we have 8 Thunder Lances? Because maybe so much monsters weak to Thunder. And for Thunder, by far the best weapon is Narva. There are no other weapons that can compete in any way with the Narva Lance. It is just cracked as hell. And even Zenogram didn't really can compete with that. I know with Narva you need a little bit more of Handicraft, but either the Toby Kadachi Lance is better than the Zenogram Lance, surprisingly. And yes, I didn't expect that. Toby Kadachi is very, very strong. And the scenario, yes, surprised me because Toby does 80% physical damage. And Zenogram only does 74% critical physical damage, and you'll have to consider that Toby Kadachi has still very good Sharpness Management. You didn't need any Handicraft here, you can see, and very good element, very good raw, very solid lance. Didn't use in a lot of speedruns because yes, I think Narva is still the best lance currently, and yes, I think that should be it. 25, you can see didn't really that much difference, but yes, to make it just yes, the thing is, you also want to include other combos, but the thing is, I'm not focusing on doing different combos. I am more focusing on the hit zones than on the combos. and it is way too complicated for this calculator. I'm using this hit zone calculator, and you can maybe click on the cells how it's calculated, and it is absolutely insane to make for every single combo such a table, and that's too much work for me currently, so I just want to focus on one combo and see how it performs. And I think if you use other combos, there should be a lot of difference, because almost top tier lances are pretty much the same. Like you can see here, Zemite and the Aura only 0.3% difference, so I didn't think there is a big difference between them. Okay. Yes, so to make it just short conclusion for Thunder Narva, for water, neutral is the best. I'm gonna delete this. Yes. For Thunder Narva always, there are some circumstances where Toby is better, but in that case maybe it's better to just use a raw lance, I didn't know. And yes, for water, definitely Loot Rod. Mitsu performs better if you have very busted high raw hit zones. And for ice, definitely the Zemite Lance. For mid-tier average elemental hit zones, also the Aura is very good. Otherwise, I just recommend to use Zemite Lance. But yes, if you want to prefer other combos, also the thing is, I'm just doing this calculation for my personal preference. So I didn't make meta builds or some other stuff. I just want to calculate for my speedruns, and for my speedruns I only used the pure leaping thrust combo. Yes, thanks J9 for mentioning. There are some weapons, they are by far the best, like the Narva Lance, and it doesn't matter which combos you're doing. There are only some circumstances, maybe where Zemite or the Aura, maybe if you use other combos where the Aura goes better, but it's very easy to say that the Aura is better. And also like for water, definitely that if you go for more raw play style, because where you didn't have that good elemental modifiers, then also Misusune is better. Okay. Yeah, so thanks for watching. I think that is a stream. Tomorrow I'm gonna continue with the fire and with the dragon lances, and that's it currently. I dropped a link in the live stream down below, you can watch it, and see you at Tuesday, Thursday, second day of the Tuesday. Okay, I do tomorrow the second part. See you next time, and thanks for watching. Meanwhile, maybe I'm doing some speedruns with the new events, or not, we will see.